Say hello to YouTube. All right. Hey, I'm David. Welcome to my channel, West Highland Shop. This week, before I start the video, I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Last week, I hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, and that's the first milestone in YouTube. 357 Magdad saw that I was getting close, and last Sunday on his video, gave me a shout out and asked you guys to jump over, check out my channel, and give me a sub. And boy, did you show up. Man, I appreciate it. That was really cool. Thank you all. I also want to say thanks to everyone who's viewed any of my videos, given me a like, a share, or commented, and especially the subscribers. I hope you will enjoy the content I have coming up in the future, and we'll get started with the video here in just a second. I also want to introduce you to Oscar. He's my little shop helper around here. I don't typically put him on video a whole lot, but he sure is a good supporter of the channel. Right, buddy? All right, let's get started. Thank you. This week's project is going to be to clean up and put back into use this vintage set of letter punches. The box is custom made for it. It's got holes so everything fits snugly, top and bottom. And it's got a groove here, so it'll fit in like that. And it's really nice. It's just filthy dirty and needs to be cleaned up. So let's get started, and I'll bring you in closer and show you a little bit more about what it looks like. So I got this at an estate sale. It was only a couple bucks, and I don't know if this thing's made of pine. The wood seems to be really soft. It's not a hardwood. But what I really liked about it is it was complete. So it's letters A through Z, plus it's got the and symbol, and just like a center punch. So I'm going to get these out, and then the first thing I'm going to do is get these cleaned up in my ultrasonic cleaner. These almost look handmade up. I don't know what the camera's going to pick this up or not. Not handmade, but they don't look machine made. They're not very precise. But maybe that's the way they were. All right, we'll get these over to the ultrasonic cleaner. All right, I've got the ultrasonic cleaner set up, ready to go. Got the timer set for 25 minutes and already have my water and cleaner in there. Here are the punches. Easy. So we'll throw them in the bath and see what they look like when they come out. Well, these definitely came clean in the ultrasonic cleaner, but there's a lot of, looks like paint on there, and I don't like the way this looks. Anyway, I got to get all these cleaned up on the wire wheel. Okay, I got all my little punches here cleaned up pretty good on the wire wheel and the fiber wheel. They came out pretty good. The next step is going to be to blue them. I'm going to blue these, and I'm going to use a new product that I've never tried before. It's a G96. I saw 357 Magdad use it the other day, and I really like the darkness that this bluing solution did. So I'm going to give it a try. First thing to do is I'm just going to get them in a little bit of alcohol bath to get them clean. They should be clean anyway. I haven't put anything on them, and I wore gloves the whole time I was wire wheeling them. But I know there's contaminants on the wire and fiber wheel. So I'll just give them a quick bath and a wipe down. Next step. I've got me a bath of warm water here. Got me a tray to put them in when they're done. So the directions say to wipe it down, let it stay on there for about 15 to 30 seconds, neutralize it in water, and then we'll dry it off. But it says you can get better adhesion if you warm it up first. So I'm going to take my heat gun here and just warm all these up a little bit. Cotton balls would be easier, but I don't have any in the shop. Yeah, that's nice and dark. I like that. Final step is I want to get some sort of oil on these, so I've got some, it's just a reciprocating compressor lubricant oil. I'm going to put some of this on here and let it soak overnight. I'm using this because I want to put a bunch in here, and I've got a couple extra bottles of this stuff. So I don't mind using it up. All right, I get the punches out of the oil bath here. Get them wiped down pretty good. I'm gonna see if I can get this in focus, but I'm really happy with this finish that came out on these. The oil darkened them up a little bit more. It's good stuff. First thing I want to do before I start sanding is just give this a good cleaning with some Krud Kutter. I'm going to sand these edges and the rest of it by hand. We'll start with some 150. All right, I'm going to finish this off with a little 220. Well, I forgot to start the camera, but I wanted just a slight round over on the bottom so you get a little bit of a reveal, kind of like a shadow line around the bottom. I just took my 1/16 inch round over bit on my trim router and just ran it along the bottom. I like to wipe everything down with a tack cloth. I usually either vacuum or blow it off with the air gun, but wiping it down with this tack cloth always seems to get all the little bitty pieces of dust out. All right, the first step in my finishing process is going to be to get a coat or two of amber shellac on here. All right, the amber shellac dried pretty good. It's also raised the grain just a little, so I'm going to sand it very lightly with 220, and then I'm going to put a little color on here. I've got some antique walnut here that I had tinted with some darker walnut for a previous project, and it's getting old, so I'm just going to use this if it's still good. For my finish on this little box, I'm going to be using Danish oil. I've been using this a whole lot lately. I have some light walnut here, which should darken it up just a hair as well. I'll put it on, let it sit for about 15 minutes. Come back and wipe the excess off, and if I think it needs it, I'll put another coat on. All right, it's been about 15 minutes, so I'm just going to wipe these down, and then I'll let it dry overnight. All right, here's the box finished up. I think it came out really nice. It certainly looks better than it did before. It's a very tight fit. I got all the letters lined up, and I was really happy with this blue installation that 357 Magdad recommended. The color came out great on it, and letting it soak in the oil was the way to go. So yeah, this thing came out pretty cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video of me restoring this little vintage letter stamp kit. I believe this is homemade just because of the way the angle on all the letters was cut here at the top. There's nothing consistent about it, but it's still really cool. It's in great shape. Got everything re-blued, cleaned the box up, and I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. Thanks again for joining. We'll see you on the next one.